I posted this video and it got 1 million views. This one got 600,000. This one got 300,000, another 300,000, 100,000 there, 100,000 here. But today we are focusing on a number that is way more important, which are these numbers. These are the number of times that each video got shared. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand exactly how I look at making a video to get lots of shares, and hopefully you'll understand that better so that you can do that for yourself. The only thing I ask is once this works for you and you end up getting a lot of traction from it, I want you to come back into the chat and show us your progress and show us what worked, because we're all trying to learn together and I think it'd be awesome. So before we get into how to reverse engineer everything, the first thing we need to talk about is why people share videos and content and music in the first place. Firstly, they want to share an experience with somebody. So for example, if you see a funny cat video, you want to send it to your friend because it made you laugh like so hard, right? You want them to laugh too. You just want to share that experience. Another example of that would be if you saw something that was just crazy, like a transition or something crazy that happened, and you just wanted to share that experience with somebody you know, right? Sometimes we just really want to connect on that deeper level, and so sharing is the way we do that. And just to give you like a practical example of kind of what that looks like, if you look at Connor Price's content, a lot of shares come from that, right? A lot of his videos are very focused on, lip syncing his lyrics and dropping a fire bar, and people see it, they think the video is fire, they think the bar is fire, right? And so they share it with their friends, they share it with other people because they're like, hey, I want to experience this with you. I want you to experience this awesome video, this awesome content as well. So they share it with other people. The other reason that people share stuff is because they want to get the identity by association. So for example, if I sent my wife a video that was like a very lovey-dovey romantic video, right? I get the identity as the person that sent that to her as being the super sweet husband that thought of her. Same concept applies if there's a video that you share with your best friend that talks about friendship, or you share something like that that basically ties your identity to that video. You kind of get to steal the association of that, and so therefore people will see you as kind of the person that shares that kind of content. So that's another reason why most people share content, is to get that identity by association. So now that we understand the overall why people share content in the first place, now let's talk about how to reverse engineer that so that your videos are super shareable and people want to send them to everybody they know. So the first thing we can do is pretty straightforward. I mean, we could post our song, maybe lip sync it, and just hope that the song is good enough that people think it's awesome and want to share it, right? They want to share that experience with other people. That's the first thing we can do, right? And I've had experience with that actually working, but I will say it's very rare, right? And nowadays there's so much music coming out, there's so many artists that you can very easily get lost in the noise. So just relying on one video or one song popping off just by the sheer luck of it is pretty hard to do. I did have that happen one time with my song Hero at the very beginning, where I did not make good videos. At the time I was making horrible videos. I mean, it was just me sitting in the dark singing my video or singing my song, and then I shared the video and it popped off, right? 100,000 views, 100,000 views. And it's because that song struck a chord with people and people wanted to share that experience with other people. That is the only time I've seen that work personally. I've seen it work very few occasions with other people, but like I said, that is not something to rely on. That's more of like a just luck thing. You can't really just expect that to work. The second thing that we can do is make content that is just so creative and awesome that people feel like they've got to share it. There's an artist going around where he starts the video off with some crazy thing, right? Some wild transition that just makes you go, wow, that was really creative to get me to watch the song. And even if you have no idea what kind of music he makes, or you don't know anything about him, you don't know, you don't even know if you like the song, you'll probably share it with people just because of the sheer creativity of getting people to the song, right? The sheer creativity of the video gets people to it. And I'll go ahead and show you right now one example of where I did this personally, and I kind of got my family involved with it, and people really loved the video because even though the music was the last part of it, right? People didn't know what I was gonna sound like, they didn't know anything about me, but just because of the sheer creativity of the video, people enjoyed it and people shared it and they loved it. And it ended up getting them to the last part where they hear my music, and because of that, they convert into listeners just because of the sheer creativity of the video. And I'm seeing some really good artists come out and put a lot of work in and do this really well. One of my favorites right now is Milo Bone. He only has, I think, like 2,000 followers on TikTok right now. But man, he is on the cutting edge of blowing up because his creativity is just so high. One of these days, something's gonna pop for him. And that's just an example of creating really creative content that gets shared and gets your music in front of people because of just how outrageous it is. So let me go ahead and show you this video that I did. You can see for yourself. Hey Dad, do you think you can mix a Harry Styles song and Niall Horan song together?
Sure. First, we need some drums. Now the bass.
That's not the bass.
Oh.
That's the bass.
Oh. Okay. Now the bass. Now we need some slapping vocals.
God only knows where this could go.
All this late night talking.
Strange light revolves around you. You float across the room. It's hard to be a human. So much to put an answer to. But that's just what we do.
All this late night talking about anything you wanna till the morning. Now you're in my life. You're made of something new.
God only knows where this could go. And even if our love starts to grow out of control, and you and me go up in flames, heaven will be the same.
Okay, so again, the idea behind that is the content is just so good that people want to share it, and your music just happens to be part of it, right? The whole thing is not about your music, it's about entertaining the audience, but your musical ability and your stuff happens to be intermingled, and you can't really separate the two. So when people share those and that, it blows up, people just happen to go over and listen to your music because it was part of that. All right, so the third way is we can create an identity that makes it super easy for people to just share with a specific person to get that association, right? Like we talked about, sharing things because you want the association. We're going to create an association that people want to have, and therefore we'll share it. One example that I did was I did this song Trouble. It's a cover by Never Shout Never, but one of the things that I did is I put up on the screen, send this to her, or send this to your loved one, send this to, etc., right? You could do the same concept with send this to your best friend, or send this to your day ones, right? Same concept. The idea is to create an association that people want to send to somebody, right? So in the video that I did, and again, this got a total of like 3 million views across all the videos that I did on this specific song. All I did was sing the song, and it was like, it's a very lovey song. It's a very cheesy, like, oh, I love you kind of thing, right? But then I put it in the caption, I dare you to send this to her. And because of that, a lot of people were sending it to their significant other. And let me tell you why this is an amazing, amazing, amazing strategy. So not only do you get the view from the first person watching it, and also going into the comments and, typing in the person's name so that they can see it too, right? But you get the watch time from them going to do that, and you get the view from that person coming over to watch the video to see what they sent them, and most of the time that person will comment back on this person's comment, which will lead to this person coming back to the video, and you end up with 3 to 4 views from one person seeing the video. So you can like double dip. What you see on a lot of these videos, and when I look at the analytics on these specific ones, is I only have like 1/4 of these views are like individual people. But it converts way, way higher because these people keep coming back and back and back to the video. So right now, if you are looking at your views and you're like, man, I'm stuck in 200 view jail, 300 views, it's probably because you're focusing on the views and you're not focusing on the other metrics like the shares that mean way more. And by the way, the shares mean way more than the saves, they mean more than the comments, they mean more than anything. Except for maybe watch time, but I think they kind of are watch time because they add to it when you share it. Anyways, the share is by far the most important metric, so that is what you should be focusing on and reverse engineering, and that's how I've gotten a lot of these videos to blow up. It's not just because the videos are really good, right? Some of these videos you could debatably look at and be like, I hate that song, I hate the concept, I hate everything about it, but when people see it, they're able to share it super easily and get that association. They're able to share it and experience this fun, entertaining experience together. And so that is the point, and that's how you get shares. Let me know if this helped you. I really want to try to track as much data as possible. So if you can, track what your data looks like before this video, implement these things, implement these changes, try to think about the content in the way that I've talked about here, and then I want you to track the data afterwards and let me know what kind of changes you see. That's it for this lesson. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.